took a deep breath there. In anticipation of this Tuesday's Talking Reds, is John Gibbons with a gasping Craig Hannan next to me.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know, it was like the whole thing came to a shock to you.
I wasn't ready. I was in a daydream, and I was like,
That was absolutely this is as I said, Talking Reds. On the day Liverpool play Red Star Belgrade, so we've obviously got loads of chat about that coming up as well. But before all that, we want to ask you a quick favour. The Anfield Wrap have been nominated for the FSF Awards. That's the Football Supporters Federation. They have a big awards do every year, and we've been nominated for Fan Media of the Year this year, which is one we haven't won before, and obviously we were really keen to win. So Craig, you've set up a really simple way that people can vote for us.
Yeah, theanfieldwrap.com/vote, and that'll take you through to the FSF's form. You don't have to fill it. You don't have to fill out them all. I think there's like 10 there. Only takes a couple of minutes. You can fill out the Anfield Wrap just if you want to. You can vote for Jamie Carragher, Jonathan Norcroft as well. There's a couple of them in there as well. So only takes 30 seconds. So any help, we'd really appreciate it. Really.
Yeah, so get stuck in. So just pause this video, go to theanfieldwrap.com/vote, vote for the Anfield Wrap, vote for your other favourites as well. There's Player of the Year, so Mo Salah and Big Verge have been nominated.
I can't believe it. I missed them both.
I mean, I don't think Mo sat at home feeling.
You say that, John.
Craig doing me again there. So you can choose between the boys there, and as he said, Carragher up for Pundit of the Year. He's had a yearly battle with Gary Neville, so it'd be nice if he won that one this year after Gary winning it back last year. And our mate Jonathan Norcroft as well, we're giving a big push for, although he's up against some good competition for Journalist of the Year, but mainly us, vote for us. Do it today, do it on all your devices, get your ma on it.
Yeah. My ma watches this, so she'll be straight on doing
Craig's ma, get on it.
Come on.
Anyway, the Reds, it's quietly a big game this. We were talking about, we did our Under the Light show, which you're going to have a little clip for coming on soon, which is our Champions League preview. And it's quietly quite a big game, isn't it, Craig? Because if we win, regardless of what happens in that other PSG Napoli game, we're in a really good place to progress. If we drop points, then it all gets a bit tight, and then you start thinking, well, do we need to go to PSG and get something? And then it might get a bit difficult. So, yeah, big game.
Definitely a big game. I think before, whenever the draw was made, Jurgen Klopp would have looked at these two games in the middle and said, these are the two that we need to get 6 points from. You need to, make no mistakes. And I think that Napoli drawing in the first game against Belgrade away, I think that's that little warning to us. That sort of tells us, right, we might have pretty much hammered them at Anfield, but it's going to be a slightly tougher test with the atmosphere and the crowd and that stadium, the tunnel. Have you seen the tunnel?
I have seen the tunnel.
The tunnel looks like you're on like some sort of ascent to hell.
It goes on forever. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, this is a bit mad. And then there's a left. There's like a moody left. Like that mad little exit out the Mersey Tunnel.
That is
local reference there. And you forget about it, you're like, oh shit, I missed it. There's that weird left. And then it gets weird, and then you come out, and look, they're going to be up for it, aren't they? But look, I'm sure the players will be aware of what they're going into, and it'll just be. I wonder whether the decision not to take Shaqiri as part of it is thinking about quieting the crowd, because they're going to be up for it. It's a huge game. They haven't played Liverpool for 40 years or whatever, and they're going to be looking forward. It's going to be noisy. Big part to play away in Europe is obviously quieting the crowd. And look, they had club directors last week booing Shaqiri, so yeah. Did they have any fans in, and they were still booing him?
Yeah, there still managed to be boos. It just goes to show that there were quite a few Belgrade fans that managed to sneak in. You saw them around the city on that day as well. But yeah, that was weird. But yeah, I think that looking at the players' Instagram posts and their social media and stuff last night, it looked as if they're excited for it. Like, as a footballer, it must be exciting to sort of walk into that kind of atmosphere and want to take the points. And I know James Milner was posting about it, saying that it was going to be lively with like smiley emojis and everything. So they don't look as if they're going to be worried. They've played in these kind of atmospheres before. Like Roma last year away was, it was no tea party either.
Yeah.
So I'm sure they'll be excited, and we should be going into it massively confident, I think.
I've always had the feeling with James Milner that he's slightly disappointed he wasn't alive during the war. I feel like, footy's all right, but
he's getting into the nitty-gritty of the trenches.
So I think Milner will be sound. So somebody, I know Shaqiri, I don't know what you'd be thinking about doing with the team. There's the opportunity just to start the same 11 as we did at the weekend. There's an opportunity to rotate. I don't know if you've got any thoughts about maybe anyone you bring in, or would you just be saying go again to the boys who did okay on Saturday?
I think he'll make a couple of changes. I think he might take Trent out and put Gomez right and play Lovren. He seemed to be making a few noises about Firmino because we talked in yesterday's Talking Reds about how many games he played. I think it's 68, 69 games since the start of last season, obviously at the World Cup. And I think he's looked a little bit tired, especially at the weekend. He wasn't pressing just as much as what he usually does. So I think there might be a chance you see Daniel Sturridge. If not, then if he does go for that same front three, same midfield, then you do see. I think you almost certainly see Shaqiri at Fulham, and you'll see Sturridge and all of that. So it's working out whether he goes full on this or makes a couple of changes and then plays those lads at the weekend. It's obviously a nice game to have straight after this one because Fulham are terrible, and so it feels like any team that you pick against Fulham will go out and hammer them. So I'll be interested to see what he does, but I think there will be a couple of changes. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's funny you mentioned the defensive ones because Jürgen had a bit of a chat in his press conference yesterday about one or two of his defenders who's not been playing. He talked about Lovren and said Dejan has had a very intense year. He talks about the World Cup and not getting much of a pre-season, coming back injured. Since then he's stepping in, he's done really well. He said the hardest thing is Joel. He's in a very good shape. He's had a difficult last year as well. He came back and could do most of pre-season. This is how the situation is. It's not forever. It's always in the moments. You have to use moments and stuff like that. The boys have reacted pretty well so far, but I didn't expect anything different. I mean, he's become a bit of a forgotten man, Joel Matip, hasn't he? He came on the bench for 60 seconds at the weekend, and I was like, oh yeah, him. I mean, there's if he wanted to rest Van Dijk as well as give Trent a little rest or even rest Gomez or whatever, he's sort of got a few opportunities to do that at the back against the team. You can't imagine you're going to do loads of attacking.
Yeah, I still look at Fulham and think that's the one that Joel Matip comes in. I know he played against Southampton earlier this season. He obviously gets the goal. He played pretty well, I think. I just think he goes. I think he goes with Gomez and Van Dijk one way or the other. Whether it is Gomez at right back and brings Lovren in, and then I think he looks at the Fulham game and goes, right, that's the game that maybe Moreno gets a go, maybe Matip, Trent back in if he rests him tonight, and the likes of Sturridge and Shaqiri. Yeah,
he's got Naby Keita back in the squad as well. Probably a little bit early to see him start, but we might see him on the bench, and then maybe Fulham's a shout for him as well. But I mentioned the Under the Lights show before. This the show we do on Tour Player, our subscription podcast service before every Champions League game. It was a belter yesterday. Here's a little clip from there.
I don't think it adds pressure, especially because we've already played them at home and we've seen a bit what they're like. And obviously, going to that kind of place can make it very different, and playing them on their own terms can be a bit of a change from what you know of them already. But I feel like the fact that I don't think we battered them in the first game, but we absolutely held them at arm's length and just dispatched them quite comfortably. I think that should spread a lot of confidence around, especially knowing as well that I feel like in the other game, there's not really a bad result. Like whatever happens there, I've had people tell me that the perfect is a draw. Yeah. That if they draw and we win and we're a few points ahead, and I've been thinking that I'd just rather that Napoli won.
Yeah,
and then it's on our own terms and we just win our games and PSG are fucked. And it seems to me like as long as we make our result count, whatever happens there, we can take as a bit of a win anyway. And I think that from the evidence that we've seen of them so far, despite the fact that they drew at Napoli in the first game and despite their domestic form in that league, I think they're a really poor standard Champions League outfit. Maybe not as poor as like Maribor or something last year, but not much better. And I don't really feel any nerves about the result or anything.
Yeah, that was a clip from Under the Lights. A nice one for the guys for joining me in the studio, and also to John Bills, who joined us on the phone. He's an expert on the Slavic region. Used to live in Liverpool, worked in Barcelona.
Tell you what,
3 years? 3 years in Savannah. I very saw some sights.
Oh my word! Is that pound tequilas?
Pound tequilas, any flavour.
You get like baked bean tequilas. I know like Sava should be paying us for this, but you get baked bean tequilas, you get coffee tequilas, and like some terrible tequilas.
I mean, I was saying to John, it might be the drunkest place in Liverpool, and there's some drunk places in Liverpool. So yeah, shout out to Barcelona.
It's basically
it was quite an endorsement.
No, it's loads of fun. It's basically the bar that everyone goes to get drunk. Yeah. Really, £1 tequilas.
Yeah, up to that. Anyway, I wanted to give a little shout out as well to.
You don't get that in the mainstream media, do you?
That's why we're winning the big awards. I want to give a quick shout out as well to our Moments in Time series. It's obviously been running for the last year or so. We've done quite a few really good ones. The last one we did was the 2001 FA Cup final, 2-1 against Arsenal. The very first one we did was about Kenny Dalglish resigning. We also did one earlier in the year about the 5-0 against Everton. So Liverpool 5, Everton 0, all the way back in 1982. It's the anniversary of that game today, so it might be a good opportunity for you to listen to that show if you didn't. It's completely free. It's free for anyone to listen to. It's got all the big hitters involved in it. It's got supporters, journalists, players, and of course the main man Ian Rush himself, who got 4 goals that day. It's good, isn't it, Craig?
It's really good. Yeah, that was a mad day in the office. That's the only day.
Turned up. Robbo went bananas.
Oh my! Yeah, Robbo lost his head. To be honest, it was like, to be fair, that's his hero, and that's like obviously Rushy was before my time, but that's like Gerrard being in the office or whatever. Like, he lost his head, was getting all sorts signed. I'd have been exactly the same, to be honest. But yeah, it's brilliant. I love the Moments in Time series, and it's quite nice, like, talking to people. You know, I spoke to someone at the weekend who wasn't a subscriber to Tall Player, but the first thing he said was, "Oh, I love the Moments in Time series." So yeah, if you haven't given them any of them a listen, get on them all. They're really good.
Yeah, the Rushy one today, though, the anniversary, it's a great place to start the 5-0. We're going to have a little clip from that as well. So yeah, this is the clip coming up. But thanks for joining us. Don't forget to vote for us in the FSF Awards. And yeah, here's a little clip of the main man, Ian Rush, talking about that day. You still go to Anfield. I've seen you in the stands and things like that. Every home game, they still sing "Rush scored 1, Rush scored 2." That must give you immense pride to think, of all the brilliant days Liverpool have had in its illustrious history, that it's that game and my 4 goals they still sing about every game.
Yeah, I think so. When I go to Liverpool now, obviously being an ambassador for Liverpool, but I think now I go as a supporter, and when they sing that name, it just brings tears to your eyes. Really, you know, I think people are. That most probably didn't even see the goals. You know, I think the older generation will be doing that. The younger generation, for them to still sing that is something very, very moving. You know, obviously, again, man, you'll never walk alone. That's incredible before they are. But when they sing that, for me, it's just I can't believe it. You know, and I feel so proud and everything. And you know, I just hopefully it continues, because it gives me a great pleasure when they do sing the name.
We'll have to keep doing it then, Josh.